Oops, forgot to put the live chat out. I won't see anybody talking if I don't do that. So what have we got? Oh yeah, I already missed a few people. Hey Byron, Rodum, Barry. Right. Almost thought I was going to be ignored here, but no, fortunately not. Okay, so we've got an A1990, which on the outside looks awfully similar to 1707 or 6 or whatever. I find myself disappointed in myself for the fact that I cannot rapidly distinguish between the 1707, 1706. 1708s I've got no problem with. I know it's something I should know just by default, but it's funny how you can have blind spots like that. But in saying so, I'll probably... Wow, that's getting hot in there. That's interesting. Alright. That should not be getting hot. I haven't even turned it on, and yet it's hot. So we're off to a exciting start. Hey, Harry Crawford, Jason, Osis. Ah, man, this is... Hey, Sutter Bridge. No PCH's views, Sutter Bridge. I hate it when they get difficult ones like this. There we go. Alright, so why are you hot? CPU and GPU seem to be running for some reason. Yeah. Seems a little ominous already, doesn't it? The fans aren't running. Top right screen on top. Oh yeah. There's plenty of bends in this already. The screen itself seems to be intact. Oh, just spun. Let me guess. It's working now. Yeah, Barry, I'm full of blind spots myself. Okay, no, it's... It's definitely not showing up anything there. I'll plug in an external screen and see if that pops up anything. Hello, screen cable adapter thingy jiggy wiggy. Ah, there you are. It'd be real embarrassing if the customer details just all popped up on screen now. Not the sort of thing I would want to happen. Let's see, HDMI Asableaf. See if it switches over. You obviously won't be able to see it, but I can. It may require me to disconnect the internal display for this purpose. Yeah, I might have to actually do that. On this particular one, it's possibly going to be a busted mux. I'm going to hope it's a busted mux, as in... Yeah, and the mux is sitting in under here. I'm pretty sure that's probably what it's going to be. It's funny how you say that. I'm fairly sure that's possibly going to be it. Remember not to use metallic tweezers when trying to disconnect these batteries. Now the next problem I'm going to have is I don't know if I've got a spare mux. Nick, don't believe so, but you know, I wouldn't put anything past Apple at this point. But I have a feeling it's gonna be the mux. Hey Paul Marrow. Actually, what am I doing? I want to disconnect the internal display first, then plug in the external display, confirm if I've got a display or not. Though I don't know if it will work if the mux is down. Not quite sure whether the image for the external HDMI is going to be generated in a separate location or not. MUX as in MUX, it's a multiplexer, that's the term we use instead of saying multiplexer. And it is the switch, it sits under here, it's a chip that switches where the graphics output goes. Or really, it's just, yeah, multiplexer. So it doesn't have to be graphics, can be any other thing, signal MUX, data MUX, port MUX, whatever. Okay, external display attached. Yeah, Paul, I saw the Starlink thing. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not under that category. But to be fair, I already get really good 140 internet here, so you know I can't really complain. Hey, Steve K, welcome. I know. Okay, yeah, we've got a display output on the HDMI, so the machine is running fine. It's just not putting the output to the display. So yeah, I'm going to blame that on the multiplexer. The question is, do I have a spare one? I mean, but there's bound to be people around in the UK area. There's got to be people around who do that sort of work. I mean, as it is, there's already a few hundred of us in Australia. The trouble is finding them, of course. Okay. It's running a little warm in here. The Afrikaans version of Asseblief sounds so weird. It seems to come off the tongue a bit easier in Afrikaans, in my opinion. Hey, Crazy J. Ach, man. It's taking too long. I'm just gonna force it down. Alright. So we know what we're dealing with, or at least we think we know what we're dealing with. The two may not be always the same. I'll get it out, and like I said, hopefully I've got some spares. I'm not 100% sure. It's not a chip that I have a lot of at the moment. But this is a fault that I am seeing relatively regularly now. And to be honest, I'm happy to be seeing this fault, because it's much better to destroy a MUX than to destroy the GPU or the CPU. Yeah, given a choice, you want to go for the chip that you can replace. It's off. My goodness, there's a ton of these screws, isn't there? Who hit 100,000? And I am so far away from 100,000. I don't blow up enough stuff on the channel. I don't yell at enough people. I don't have sufficient controversial views. Mind you, to be fair, given that I'm a fairly strong pro-science, pro-data, pro-math person, I am rapidly, it seems, becoming a minority in this modern-day Western society, where any sort of math, science, statistics, and stuff like that seems to become a bit of a demonized topic now. It's like, how dare you present your facts? So to hell with you, scientists. It seems like now that we're becoming the minority. But then again, to be fair, we always were the minority. Eli gets shut down, don't know. Don't know. Don't follow many people. Hell, I barely even follow Lewis these days. Probably watch more growling sidewinder videos than I do Rossmann videos. Just need more videos. We are working on more videos for the cats. We just have to get our workshop and cat rescue enclosure, shed, whatever, and then we're going to have cameras set up in there, and so everybody can watch all our foster kids and all that sort of stuff. So you'll be able to have a constant stream of kitty cats in the live. It's just one of those things that takes time and a lot of money. So it's probably going to be around about, I'm guessing about 25,000 or so to set up this workshop slash recovery center for the cats. And it sounds like a fair bit of money, but in all honesty, if it can help us control... Damn it, I hate how they always come off that. If it helps us control the stray and lost foster cat situation in this town, it's going to actually make my life quite a bit easier. So it's an investment now to hopefully help long term. Okay, you always get stuck on those. Well, Nick, that is the case, but unfortunately he who shouts loudest and most constantly does tend to get the attention quite a bit. Yeah, I can understand Paul S. not wanting to do live streams. Yeah, he does the sort of work that Paul S. does, the boards and the faults that he works with. That's the kind of work where you really do need to simply just shut off the rest of the world and tell everybody to go to hell, because you just can't concentrate trying to debug those faults and try and do a live stream. It's borderline impossible. So I can completely understand him not doing live streams. Yeah, if you're just doing a 1466 backlight fault or something like that, then yeah, no trouble. But yeah, the sort of work he does, you got to take the time to yourself. Miles, maybe you're just coming to appreciate that cats are jerks because of the fact that they don't like people in general. And you can appreciate why they don't like people. Byron, cardboard is very heat resistant. It will be just fine. There is a resistant heat mat underneath it, by the way. But in saying that, yes, cardboard is actually very heat resistant. While you can make it catch a light, and then it sort of degrades rather rapidly. As long as you don't let it catch a light, it will tolerate quite a considerable amount of heat. And when you think about those rocket engine tubes that they use for JetX, is it JetX? Or whatever. Anyway, hobby rockets, yeah, they're all just cardboard. Just live stream it all and let Lewis and L be commentator. Well, that would work, yeah. But that said, I can understand, even just knowing that you're being watched is enough to make you sort of refrain a little bit. The cardboard is there simply because I have this sheet of cardboard in the slot. So, I've got my custom made slots for putting all the jobs in. Pardon me, but grit does build up in those slots. So I don't like the customer machines, running against that grit. As a consequence, I put a piece of cardboard down and it stops that. Okay, I forget which one. I think it's the top one that's the mux. Let me just get this board number here. So 1814. Oh, mother of God. Okay, 1814. that's the mux. EDP mux. Okay, so it's this chip here that we have to replace, but the trouble is, do I have another one? It's not so much keeping the motherboards clean, it's stopping the cases, the external case, from getting damaged. You know, scratched up and stuff like that. Let's see, 1814. Okay, I need to see what other boards have this chip. Let's see, CBTL, whatever you are. One six three. Do I have a 163? I think I've got a 163. I hope I've got a 163. Do I have a 163? Stop saying 163. I've probably said it 163 times. I got a 239. That's not going to help. Is it? There is no way a 3332 has it, surely. If the 3332 does have this chip, then I bet you it's going to be in a different format. Because I can't imagine it has that chip. I'd be very shocked. Alright, so my options here for this chip, but like I said, I bet you they're different format, different physical package format. Okay, so these are the boards that supposedly have this chip. And now I go through my pile of sad boards, and let's have a look. Yeah, I don't even know who you are. Who are you? Ow. So, overhead. Great. Damn it, I can't read that number. Three 662. You're not on that list. Get out of here. I don't know why I haven't written big numbers on all of these boards that I have. I think that might be it there. Well, lo and behold, it's not an identical board, but it's pretty damn close. And so, yeah, I'm thinking that would be the EDP chip there. I'm not sure what board that one is. Come on, be the EDP. You sure look like it. Yep. Okay. Whew. Saved by my stash of random parts today. And Flex Board View. That's right, folks. Without Flex Board View, I probably wouldn't have realized that I had that part hanging around. Well, no, gee, normally I write on them, just a nice big pen mark or something like that, and that lets me know what I've got. So I don't know why I haven't written on that one. Maybe it was just a case of I received it but didn't process it correctly. Okay, why is my focus out tonight? This is the downside of this particular chip, is that it's in a very heavily thermally sunk area. You know, there's a lot of copper around here, so trying to get it on and off is a little bit tricky. Hey Zero Cool, sorry to hear about your mum. I get that feeling. I haven't lost my dad just a little over a month ago, so yeah, feel free to hang around. Apologies if I'm not keeping up with everyone's chat. Yeah, Nusacat, you know, I have thought about having some sort of inventory system, but I'm not sure I'm up to doing it properly yet. I've got to get the open board view, not open board view, the open board data process sorted out. It's close, but like I said, I'm just trying to work out all the policies and things like that. And I don't mean written policies like you know, committees or anything like that. I'm talking about algorithmic policies, how I'm going to handle the various things that happen. Okay. Alright, we do need to reball this chip. Thank you, Andrew, for the link. I appreciate that. Hey, James. I see you there. Ah, Greg. How's it going, Greg? Any luck with your couriers? Greg and I are soul brothers when it comes to couriers. Both have absolute... Actually, to be fair, I think most of us are probably soul siblings, so to speak, when it comes to couriers. Couriers are just the worst. I mean, you need them, but my goodness, they strip your life away. Oh, yeah, Sharp. It's, you know, it's... These things happen, don't they? If we're lucky, we all go through it. I know it sounds really sort of weird to say that, but believe me, it's better to have it work that way than the other way. And the other way is, of course, when your parents have to say goodbye to you. So, it's not nice, but it is the natural kind of way, so to speak. Alrighty, my replacement solder paste has not arrived yet, so this is going to be entertaining. And I cannot find my spudger still, so it's extra entertaining. Oh wow, this is... I don't know how this is going to go. This is really... It's way too wet. We're going to go real slow and low here. This is 340 and it's already too much. I hope I don't have to do too many reballings tonight because this is not going to be fun. Alright, let's just dive in. Two-thirds of those balls aren't even going to be attached. because they're not meant to be. You know, it's this. It's just a fairly general stencil, that one, and the chip itself doesn't need that many pads populated. But yeah, I might have to end up buying some paste locally while I wait for the stuff from China to arrive. Arnold G, that is brutal. What, do you have an aneurysm or something? Ach, niemand, come on. Why are you stuck to board? Probably because I took too long to get around to poking it. Let's heat it up a bit, get it to unglue that flux. Had a super heart attack, bloody hell. Alright, this channel's turned into pretty terrifying stuff now. Okay, interesting. I got a couple here that didn't actually take, so we're gonna have to manually put those down. And I have to do it comparatively carefully because of the fact that I can only do one at a time. But we do want to preserve these balls. So we'll put down the ones that we don't need. Relocate the ones that we do, one at a time. Make sure there's no others floating around like that. Otherwise they will just roll into their nearest neighbour and cause it to become a double size. Okay, so alright. I'm going to drop that air down even more, down to about 10 litres a minute. Kind of curious why they didn't take. Okay, that one's on. What am I doing? I've lost my orientation. Okay, that one's stuck. Was it just the two I had? Yeah, it looks like it was just the two. All done. Bottom right. I think we're all good. Now here's hoping that this chip is actually alright. Because I think a lot of these machines end up on the, what do you call it? A lot of these machines end up in the donor path because of this sort of fault. Now the fun part, we've got to get this off, replace it, and hopefully not do any real damage to our CPU or GPU or whatever. We get some metal plates to give us a helping hand. I do have some other metal plates around here. Hello, metal plates, where art thou? I do have a whole bunch of them, but there's a couple in particular that I like to use. They're already pre-bent, ready to serve their country. There we go. Yeah, now the heat's got to go up to full bore, exactly. Or close enough to it. A little bit too much flux. That's okay. Today is Make Jason Vilma Cry Day. Why is... sorry. There was lead paste on my tweezers. Phew. Like I said, tough chip to get off. That was a lot of heat, you know, you could pull an SMC with that sort of level of heat. You actually start to get a bit of a panic effect going on in your head, which is not good. Now the thing here is I can't use the high level of air that I did just before, because all that's going to happen is that high level of air is just going to blow the chip around and it will just misalign. Okay, just got a bit too much flux down there, which is another fantastic way of butchering the job. And so is leaving all these damned little hairs. Yeah, I heard about Philip. I think everybody has. I'm not really much of a royal family person. Don't really do a lot these days, do they? Oh, you mongrel. Alright, I'm having trouble getting that to sit. And unfortunately we caught a bug in the flux. Dispose of him quickly. The reason why I'm having trouble getting this to sit down is because of the fact that I did not remove the bumps off the circuit board. So we've got all these little solder bumps on the pads. And yeah, that's under normal circumstances not a big issue, but when you're trying to put, it's like trying to balance two balls on top of each other, it just doesn't work. It's very, has a strong tendency to just slide right off. Yeah, we're getting there. I probably don't have to be this pedantic, but if I have the opportunity to not melt half the stuff, then I'm gonna take it. Oh, mother of flippin'. Yeah. Oh well. I know some people can just do this. They hold the chip, bring the hot air in, and then, you know, it sort of sticks. I don't have that talent. There's a damn ball hanging off the edge there. It's probably a bit of residual solder from the... And I'm really worried it's going to make itself home on a pad if I'm not careful. Okay, that's finally swimming. And the nice thing is, as you can see, we did not melt the plastic. Phew. Miles, I really hope I don't need a new swear jar. Whoops. Okay. Alright, that's probably cooled off a small amount. Let's check to see what it looks like visually. It's a bit hard to get any sort of observation of the reflow status. No, I can't really tell, to be honest. It's going to be one of those ones of power it up and see, I guess. Not my favourite technique. Oh, I know where the ball came from. It was just a bit of solder paste that was hanging off the edge from when I did the reballing. So I know where that came from. The main thing is I wanted to be sure that it didn't go somewhere I didn't want it to go. Okay. Solder Bridge, you are actually going to get banned at this rate with your attitude. I am definitely going to put you on the obnoxious negative Nelly list. That'll learn you. Then you can sit there and you can cry in the distance while we all ignore you. Jerk. Electronics Workshop. Alright, let's spend 20 minutes just trying to rig this back up. Make sure we see how many cables we can snare in the process. I always catch that battery data cable, that's inevitable. Okay, I think we've got enough to try the smoke test. Hopefully not a literal smoke test. I'll be very upset if it's a literal one. Okay, we've got 20 volts. Got an amp. Fan spin. Come on, give me the output. Give me the damn screen display. No. Crap. Alright, so is a bad EDP chip, bad application of the chip, or what? I don't know. Let's see what the backlight pin is on this. No, well, I've got the internal plugged back in, so it's definitely should be generating to it. What the flippity do? Cat's jumping on the air conditioner. Hey Tony W. Yeah, Solder Bridge is going to get himself banned now. Okay, let's see if we still got external at least. Hey Luke. Hey Warren. But 90% of the time it's the mux that fails on these. Like I say, it could be a bad mux. Okay, I've got no signal on that, but that's possibly because I didn't disconnect the internal display. Okay. Oh, I know what's going on. Damn you, Paul. Alright, so we've still got external display. I might actually let this one boot and then shut it down using the trackpad and such. Yeah, maybe a mistake. Mind you, I didn't really see anything blatantly obvious, but I'll have a look this time. But like I said, a lot of the time it's just the mucks. And while I'm waiting for this to boot that you can't see, I will have a look at the backlight. It could be the cable, but yeah. Naturally it's doing that. Let's reset your password, crap. Come on. I'll tell you what, for fast machines, they are very slow when it comes to doing this reset password boot, or the, what do you call it, guest user boot as well. I didn't forget my password, you morons. Just restart. What's he's got the humour. No one knows, Riley. No one knows. It's not like we can magically guess things. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the reboot so it goes into a normal user boot and things like that. And then once that's done, I'll shut it down and then we'll have a look at the board again. Okay, now I can shut it down. I don't like leaving these boards in a state where they are going to boot into the reset password type thing. I don't like that. Okay, VGA. Alright, it is still possible it could be the mux. It's entirely possible that that mux is dead. Like I said, it's a common issue, and so it's not out of the ordinary that the donor board could have a bad mux. It's also possible that I didn't get that mux down properly. Maybe it needs a reflow again, and my apprehension with regards to the fear of overheating things may have prevented it from doing a proper reflow. So there's all these factors to consider, and yeah, it could also be a backlight issue. But I mean, overall the board looks quite clean. In saying that, you watch, I'll find something. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing on this backlight section that looks bad here at all. I'd sooner say I've got a dud mux, a second dud mux, or it didn't get reflowed properly. I'll tell you what, I will take this off and see that it hasn't burned through the cable or anything. No, Christian. Oh, you're talking about me or someone else's problems? But nothing is displaying on the internal. Yeah, I really, yeah, you look at that. That there is pretty much a perfect area. Hello 9240. Damned ISLs. Bad enough getting the 1939s, let alone get the 1940s. At least you can now buy like a strip of 9239s and not be completely stripped out of your pocket money. Suppose I should check a backlight fuse. Is there one? Pretty sure. Oh yeah, 8400. Yeah, we'll check the backlight fuse. And that looks pretty fine to me. What's that little mark? No, that's just a bit of cleaning. I mean, even on this side, the bank of caps. I'll check the diode, man. Hello, Belle. What you doing, girl? You can't see her, but one of the kitty cats is at the window, as she always is. Okay, that's obviously ground. 1.51, that's fine. Alright, what we're going to do is we will reflow that mux. Like I said, it's possible I didn't get it down properly. There's a ball maybe not sitting right. And if that doesn't work, then we'll replace it again. I'll also be sensible and measure what the backlight output is this time. It can be easy to actually get into the habit of jumping steps that you really shouldn't jump. Particularly if it's a fault that you encountered before, you just sort of subconsciously, well not subconsciously, but you willingly sort of hedge your bet and you sort of go, oh, it's going to be the mux this time, and you just jump straight in, rather than maybe sort of sitting around thinking, yeah, maybe it's not the mux this time. Good. But where's the fun in that? Yeah, if I if I red laser the window, we'll probably hear a great crash, won't we? I don't really care to do that. what I'm going to do this time, let's see, I'll heat it up a bit first, and then I'll add the flux, then keep heating it again. So basically we're just trying to get the board warm, since we don't have a preheater. Actually, I do have a preheater now. I did buy one of the preheaters. Same one that Dave Jones has got. So we're just trying to warm up everything as much as we can. From about now we can add some flux. Paul forgets his little pusher. Okay, I saw that move. I saw that move back into alignment, so I think that was the problem. I guess we'll find out, won't we? I don't know if you saw it, but you could. There was the wiggling from the air itself, but then there was also the slide. So fingers crossed. Just trying to cool off the board. Hopefully we will be able to deny Solid Bridge his sadistic wants. I wonder if Solid Bridge is still around, or whether he ran off upset. Or whether he's just keeping quiet, biding his time, waiting for me to cry or something. It moved more than a nanometer. I saw it. Make solder bridge use unleaded solder. Unleaded solder and no flux. It's bad enough soldering with little to no flux with leaded solder. Try to do it with lead-free solder. Ugh. So you're defrosting your freezer. What did your freezer ever do to you? Actually, I shouldn't laugh because, oh no, I've somehow got an additional screw here that I shouldn't have. Damn it. Okay, you belong in there. That's what I actually had to power cycle our fridge freezer combo today. It's some awful Westinghouse, I think it is, design. It's one of those fake pigeon pairs where they're actually merged together, so you're actually still using the cold air from the freezer, and you're just simply trying to control the temperature of the fridge by adjusting how much cold air, frozen air from the freezer comes through. using baffles and things like that. And I hate that because it's more mechanical stuff just flapping around. It always fails or it gets obstructed or yeah. I really do much prefer single task fridge freezer. Like you have a fridge, you have a freezer. I won't be able to do that with the next one that we buy, but I will get one that's predominantly fridge, and then we'll have a chest freezer for, you know, what's important to keep cold and whatnot. Chest freezers are excellent. I mean, you can run them on so little energy. You easily run them on solar panel. You know, a 200 watt solar panel is easy enough. So yeah, if things go wrong then with your I don't know, cyclone, weather issues or something like that, you can always keep your stuff cold with a chest freezer pretty easy. Or you can turn it into a fridge. The only trouble with using a chest freezer as a fridge is that you've got to deal with the accumulation of liquid at the bottom. If you can solve that problem, then you're probably good. Alright. Okay, we got our 20 volts. Come on. Mongrel. Right, looks like it's not my day for that. Well, time to check the voltages. It makes me sad. Ow. So 0 volt. Okay, 54 volts, it's not seeing the screen. I mean, it's seeing the screen, it's generating, but the backlight in the screen is possibly blown. So what's happening is the computer, when it starts up, it sends out queries. It's like, hello, have I got a screen on here? And the computer says, yes, we've got a screen here. But when it sends voltage to the backlight, there's nothing there. There's no load on it. So 54 volts is what we call an open circuit voltage in this particular case. So it's basically like the backlight of the screen is dead. I do actually, funnily enough, have another 1990 here which I can test. Now the real question is, why did the backlight die? And so that kind of makes me a little bit apprehensive about putting this board in another customer's chassis to test, because if I blow their screen, well, yeah, I'm up the creek. I don't have another test screen of my own, that's the problem. What we'll do is we'll check the voltage, not the voltage, the diode mode on this connector and see what it gives us. No, the backlight actually need... The 54 volts is what happens. It's kind of like, how do I explain it? If you've got no load to go against, that's what the problem is. I'm not sure which one's the... No, I got the wrong way around anyway. Let's see. ground. Am I in diode mode? No, I'm not. Okay. Try that again for the 4th time. Okay, open circuit. And 0.5. I'm not sure which one's which. Let's see. Right hand side, yeah. The backlight chain's blown. Okay. Where is it? Okay, so this is 5 VSO. This one here, that's what powers the LCD panel itself. And this here is backlight. And now that I look, is that a little tiny chunk taken out, or was that caused by me? See that little bit of... It almost looks like it got a bit burned there. Oh, now you're going to give me diode mode? 0.3. And you're open. Okay, that's weird. Aren't they supposed to be much the same? Oh no. You'll be 3v3. Yeah, okay. This must be... I'm just trying to translate, I'm sorry. So that one there... The bottom right. So it's that one there. We will do continuity test and see if we actually get a beep on the backlight output. So did I say this one? Okay, so this here is backlight output. So that one there. It's funny how when you try to put your brain through these exercises, you kind of mess up. And that, when flipped over, indeed translates to that pin, which is now measuring 0. Okay. Alright. So the problem is the screen itself, which means that mux was probably okay. Right, my bad. So in this particular instance, I wasted my time on a job that is basically a screen replacement. Well, that's embarrassing. Shame on me. Like I said, I'm not going to put it through the test of another screen. I'm not here to take that sort of risk today. Ah, I got a liquid damage 1990. Let's tackle that one. Solder bridge, you're gonna get a smack. Yeah, I should have. You know, it's much easier to say these things when you're sitting there in the comfort of your chair, pontificating and lording it all over like a backseat repair agent. I mean, yeah, you're right. But like I said, so many times it's been a case of it's the mucks. But yes, I should have, but I didn't. You all saw it. I made a mistake. Help me now. I muxed up. Now that's more comical. So let's see, that's 4 muxes and 1 dead screen. In saying that, it's quite possible, most likely the mux was also dead. So what's probably happened is something botched up the mux, and then it upset the backlight, flashed over, or rather something happened with the backlight, flashed over, took out the mux. So chances are both were dead, which is why I don't want to go and stick it on another person's screen. I don't want to take that liability with me. I doubt it, Solderbridge. Not with you telling me what I should be doing. Alright, so liquid damage. Yeah, why'd it fail? That's the trouble. Yeah. Now, Warren, yeah, I did check the screen directly. I only was showing the cable because I was trying to map back to the board. Liquid damage. Yeah. Does it give me anything on the startup? $5 volts, 53 milliamp. And it's not going anywhere. And it's an unknown protocol. Yeah. Now, we've either got a short on a couple of caps that are over here on the underside, the other side, or we really do have liquid damage. Job update. Thank you. Someone's actually useful here. And put in notes for the old job. Too right you are. Bad screen. I wonder if it's repairable, that screen. Yeah, because if it is just the LED backlight string, you know, maybe is there I wonder if there's like something close in the display connector itself that you can tear it down, have a look, and maybe fix it. Solderbridge is really, honestly, the guy likes to play with fire. Look at that, almost is enraging me so much that I almost used a metal pair of tweezers to remove the battery data flex. I'm sure he would have chortled quite a bit. Maybe even died of Schronefeld or whatever it is, how you ever pronounce it. Died of laughing too hard. Oh, you mongrel, you were a T4 and I wasn't lined up correctly when I pushed it in. The fan rubbers as in these things, yeah, I don't even know why they bother. Looks like this one's not been installed properly, so I'm going to guess that this is actually being removed from the chassis at some point. Hey, Any555, good to see you. Yeah, Miles, they don't make anything easy. I mean, it's bad enough with the things like the 1466s when you need to change the cables in those. You're having to take off that flat metal bezel at the front. I don't know, I mean, yeah, maybe I can just separate out this board section here on that other one. Yeah, it might be accessible. But since it's not my machine and I am not being paid to do that, I am not going to do it. I really have to work on the whole do not do work that I'm not being paid to do, or that doesn't actually help me finish the job. If I'm going to do research work, then I need to start paying to buy my own stuff. Yeah, just to do the research. There are some opportune moments that I'll take here and there, but overall, no. Okay, that seems fine. Paul, I did check the fuse, it's fine. There's no trouble with that. But thanks for bringing that up. Oh, man. What is wrong with me? Flustered, that's what I am. It's strange, I don't remember taking these things out on that other one. Yeah, DJ Craze, pro bono is not a good idea with this sort of work. So I've been sending back quite a lot of machines that I've just decided that's it. It's no fix, you know. If the people are upset that I couldn't fix it, you know, I'm sorry. But the reality is that, you know, we can't fix everything. Not realistically. With things like the, you know, 2013 to 2016 type era machines, you've probably got about a 60-70% success rate in most cases. But with these newer machines, that's really dropped off. I think I'm closer to about 50% if I'm lucky. Particularly if you start getting issues amongst the startup. You get your 20 volts, but then you don't get anything. You know, everything seems to be alive, but nothing's coming up, and you don't know why. And it's not the screen, and it's not the output. It's just a zombie machine. It's kind of like when you get the 165s that boot, but they're just dead inside. Kind of like your first girlfriend, who you end up picking up only because you persisted so long and she just sort of went, oh, whatever. Where's my T8s? Hey Jesse James, welcome. And thank you. Certainly these fans need to be cleaned out, choked, absolutely chock-a-full. Farfan, no idea anymore. You expect me to remember stuff from less than 24 hours ago? More than 24 hours ago? Hell, even that's a push. Alright, we don't have the cap fault here, that's not the one. Usually it's on the 1418s or the... was it 1041s or something? Anyway. So we do actually have some issue here to chase down. Okay, let's get under the microscope and start looking. Get out of here, magnet Matt. No one's attracted to you today. Actually, this is the model. Where's my damn brush? Oh, this new workshop can't arrive. Aha! I finally found my spudger. But now I don't have my brush. Fantastic. I mean, so what do I do with this stuff? Where do I put it? I put it on my chair and sit on it or something? I don't know, just stuff vanishes. It's like it's a brush, for goodness sake, and there it is. Yeah. Okay. Okay, these two caps here, particularly this one on the edge, almost always fail on these boards after a while. It seems to be a manufacturing fault. By manufacturing fault, actually I should really specify and say that I mean the supplier of those caps. Their quality control might have failed on a spool or two of MacBooks. And in the position that they're being used on this MacBook mainboard, they seem to get rather sensitive about the moisture, and then they absorb it, and then they die. Yeah, we'll have a look. This one isn't showing it. Tony, no, I have not, to be honest. When did you last hear from him? Okay, that seems fine. Warren, I haven't actually. Right now, I'm sort of holding out until we get the house to ourselves. Like, we do own the house now, but I'm just desperately hanging out till we get the house to ourselves and I can spread my stuff out. And then I can start reorganizing and getting ready, getting into the other areas, because MacBooks are good now, but it's possible that in due time there will be a lot less of them. I hope this isn't an ISL 9240 issue. If I cannot find any compelling reason for these chips look fine. Yeah, it's not looking good. 1827. I don't think I've got that one. So what is this? 565. Just updating the board number. 820011827. It might actually be the on-off button that's causing this. I've had that happen before. Hey B-Dog. 2 weeks. I'll message him now, Tony. Because you're right, I've been wondering where he has been, but I've just been caught up with everything else. Okay, the last time I heard from him was a week ago. Yeah, last time I heard him was 1st of April. So hopefully you can find some good news. Well, one way to find out if this is actually the home button causing the fault is I'll just try and power it up now. Not the home button, the on-off button. Because if that gets corrosion on it, then it does seem to hold the input voltage down to 5 volts. But I am kind of worried it might be the ISL, and if it's dead they'll also do that sometimes, hold it down to 5 volts. 270, yep, that's booting. So I think it's the liquid damage that they're talking about. It's going to be on that home button. Why do I keep saying home button? The on-off button, this thing here. Or at least that's a guess. This is definitely where the whole experience thing comes in. You can write all the stuff down, and you can put it onto a wiki site and stuff like that, and it is very, very helpful to have that. But at the end of the day, you've sort of got to either encounter it. I could be wrong. It may not be that, but I have encountered it several times where that is the case. Easy way for me to test is just put the board back in and connect that one cable and see if I only get 5 volts. Yeah, we definitely need to have the various wikis that tell us, all the faults that people have found. The trick is to actually go and read them, and even when you do read them, it doesn't typically stick until you encounter it yourself. It's like it becomes a half fact in your brain, a half memory, and then once you do actually encounter it, it becomes a full memory. You're like, oh, I know that one. Okay. Hey Dave, VC. Yeah, power button's what I keep meaning to say. Okay, power button's connected. And Nick Facey, what are you talking about there? No, we've got 20 volts now. Okay, so it's not the power button. In that case, what have we got? Trackpad, keyboard, battery even. Okay, let's just start plugging things in and seeing where it stops giving us 20 volts. When Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out, yes, I will play that. I will definitely, assuming it works on Linux. Kind of going to be up the creek if it doesn't. Well, I've got 20 volts, I've got 1 amp, and I've got an Apple logo. Plugging in the touch bar. Hey Blues. Virtualize Windows. 270. Yep, 20 volts. This may end up just being a damn battery fault. speaker, keyboard, I think. Or hilariously, it may it may just work with everything reconnected now. That's going to be a pain if that happens. Yep, 20 volts. Trackpad. Yep. What haven't we plugged in apart from the battery now? Is this one here? Maybe it was a piece of the dust that I brushed off. I don't know. Okay, I haven't heard back from Jim yet, which is concerning. The other thing concerning, not to mock or anything like that, yeah, we do have a great big red dot on our battery data cable. See how it behaves with just the battery connected and not the data cable. Yeah, it's the battery. With the battery connected, it's stuck at 5 volts, so that's all that was. Well, what do you know? How boring. Hey Travis, welcome. Yeah, you're not too late. You haven't really missed a huge amount. Faulty battery. Pardon me. Alright, that leaves me with... I had another machine today. Where are you, other machine? Come on, don't lie to me. I know I've got another machine that I bought in today. I've got 3 from one person, and then I've got another one. Oh, what's the trick with the other one? The other one was partially disassembled when it arrived. So now I've got to find out where I'll put that. Alright, I might just hold off that one. I've got a 1278 here with... Why does it say unknown? It's a no... It says unknown, but it's actually a no power one as far as I recall. Yeah, no power on boot, corrosion under top side of board. Ah, joy. Joy to the world. I'm fixing a MacBook, and Solder Bridge is giving me hell. You don't deserve your name being said so much, Subtlebridge. You become he who should not be named. I don't mind 1278s, particularly if they're like the 3115s. But any older than that, I start getting a bit niggly with them. Mostly because a lot of them have got so much low-level corrosion just spread all over the board that you really don't know what you're dealing with half the time. Unless you can truly get a catastrophic smoking gun fault, then I feel like it's such a crap shot when you do fix them, because it's like, well, who knows if that really was the fix, or who knows what the next fault's going to be. More often than not, it's the next fault problem that you've got to worry about. So the customer gets it for a couple of weeks, and then they like, yeah, it was great, and then it stopped, and it's all your fault, even though it's a completely different fault. And this looks like a 3115. No, this is a 13-incher. I do have a stack of 1466s to work on. So these are all my 1466s I've got to get working on. Okay, battery disconnect. Holy dooly, it's got a spinning rust hard drive. Amazing. Alright. Terrifying, rather. Ah, it is so nice to have the end of the spinning rust era for general PCs. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's right, it's MagSafe. MagSafe 1. Where did I put my oh, there it is. $90 milliamps, 87, 1.5 watts. Alright, that's different. 80, 90 milliamp. Interesting. Let's get this board out. No point messing around. We know it has to come out. Yeah, okay. I'm actually getting worried for having not heard back from Jim. He usually gives me some kind of updates. I think it is unfortunate that it's so easy to just forget that you haven't seen someone for a little bit. You know, with so many things going on every day, and your own life is already full of things that you get done, and you just forget to catch up on these things. And it's not until this sort of situation comes up and you go, my gosh, I haven't heard from a person that I normally hear a lot from. Andre, the problem is that Jim usually sends messages periodically to us. He's either on Discord discussing the right to repair stuff, or he's around. That's the thing, he's around. And to not be hearing from him, that's yeah, that's a bit of a concern. Like I said, it's just a little bit shocking how you can easily not realize that you haven't heard from somebody in a while. I mean, it's a little different if it's your partner. Thank you, Barry West. All my twos projects. Not quite sure what you mean by twos projects, but thank you. I will use that to my projects. The beloved microphones in these things. Come on, out you come. There's no nice way of getting them out. Well, like I said, April 1st is the last time I've seen him. If you check his stats on Discord, it should show you when he was last present. What didn't help is that we just had the Easter holidays, and so you sort of do tend to, yeah, lose track of everything. Oh, right, my wife's right, gotcha. Thank you, Barry. Thank you very much. And if we can't revive this board, well, I've got so many 3115s, I think. I say I've got so many boards, but honestly, sometimes when it comes down to it, and you go to rifle through your box of boards, you all of a sudden realize you don't have many that are actually functioning without issues. 563. This has never been taken out by the looks of it. Still got the apply once tape. I sincerely hope Jim is fine and he's just, as you said, tired and sleeping, but normally I do hear from him quite periodically. Yeah, he checks with me most days to see whether I'm streaming that night and things like that. So now I'm feeling bad that I haven't checked. New Cicada said he posted 6... Oh, okay. Oh, 36 hours ago. A day and a half. It's not too bad. At least, you know, it's not a week. Okay, corrosion there. Oh, this is going to be a nasty one. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to these boards. You can see the green tinge everywhere. Oh, look at the end. Oh, no. Come on. This is just... this is why I don't like these boards anymore. Let's see. Which one? This one here. It's S5 rail P good. So I mean, if that's dead, then that, yeah. 5 phone, I'm sort of no fix, no fee. I definitely still charge a bench fee. Yuck. And how much damage is down here? Oh, come on. Yeah, see, as I said, exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got this low-level corrosion that's everywhere. So you fix up one thing, like could be that resistor, or it could be that resistor, or it could be that cap there, probably that cap, or that veer there, or that really messed up current sensor. Yeah, it's a cluster fire truck. And then later on it becomes this veer here that you can barely tell has any corrosion on it. It's... I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. The things I do to entertain people. I mean, come on, there's only 27,000 of you. If there was 1.5 million, I'd consider it a bit more. Ah, man. And I get the microscope view wrong. This is why I was shocked the other day when I had that 1270A and it was just immaculate. It was so beautifully immaculate, and I sold the damn thing. I sold it because it was one of the few times I could have the confidence to do that. To actually go, you know, this machine is actually going to be okay. It's not going to come back to me 20 times. It's like, I mean, that resistor, is it dead? Or is it just going to give a, you know, it looks ugly? You know, there's so many things. So you replace that. And that cap there is probably no good. Mind you, we are getting green light on the MagSafe, so maybe that's okay, because that chip there, that J2 type chip there, is actually part of the one wire circuit. You know I'm going to do this. I've just got to bitch and complain first about it before I do it. I hate you all. I hate you all so much. What are we saying? What is it? Cluster chuck? Oh, cluster cluck. I might say cluster chuck. Ah, and you get this sort of thing. You know, corroded cap right next to the PCH. Oh yay, let me get that. And that one there. And I don't know what spec this is though. What are you? 2.5 gigahertz something. Probably an i5. This is the sort of, really, this repair should be one of those restoration videos. Like, have you seen those restoration videos where they take some piece of junk that they found in the dump, pretty much, and they almost completely replace every single part of it and say it's restored? I gotta admit, yeah, some of them are actually really good restorations. Some of them are 90% replacements. I do lose my head a bit with some of the there's a guy around and he does MacBook restorations, but it's like, you're not really doing a MacBook restoration. You're just buying a whole new chassis and you're shoving the main board that already works into the newest chassis, but you're doing it in such a way that the sequence looks like that you're restoring the individual parts. But really, you're just, oh, that's it. Where did that... Look at that corrosion there. But really what he's doing is like taking a good main board, dunk, stick it into a brand new chassis. Labels it restoration. It's kind of, yeah, dubious, misleading. But they get a hell of a lot more views than I do, so they're obviously better at it than I am. And oh great, the CPU has a frickin' corroded cap on it. That's brilliant. Marvelous. I don't know if we can actually trust that, to be honest. I think that's just a low rail, a low current rail. Yeah, I'm gonna say, even though it's going beep, it's probably a low current rail. I'm saying that mostly because you can see the size of the copper plane in the chip. You can see how big it is, and you can see that most of those caps are all also on it. So it implies that it's a fairly hefty decoupling rail, or involved on a rail that's fairly hefty, rather. Yeah, Damaris, I already said that. God damn. I love when people try to tell me what I already know. That's it. You're out. You're going with Solid Ridge now. I think it's Bustin' Chops day for me. and I'm just randomly lashing out, so yeah. Quite honestly, I think probably ultrasonicking this might be the safer thing to do. Those crystals probably should be replaced. The RTC 3v3 line is stuffed too. Hey Dave Monroe. Is this hailstones? Fun. Alright. Yeah, Nick, I think I've got a few too many of these ones these days. I've got a lot of, you can't see them, but below the benches, there are just containers and containers full of 1278 chassis and things like that. It's a whole lot of flux and boiling going on required. But I really genuinely am concerned that I fix one thing, then 2 weeks later another thing's going to fail. What about that veer? That trace, is that even still there? Hey Warren, yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I'm only doing it for bad entertainment value, I guess. At least the upside in this particular case is that this is not functioning. What I hate are the ones that partially function like this. Yeah, they're all corroded and everything and they mostly work, and then you're never really quite sure whether you fix the damn thing or not. Alright, I need... Tonight's been really bad for the jobs. We've got a bad screen, a bad battery, and yeah. Okay, that's only 2 things I've done. Whoops. I'm going off as if many more things have happened. My chipmunks have run off. Ah, there it is. Give me a chipmunk. What are we talking about? MX-5. We're talking about MX-5 the car or MX-5 something else? What's MX-5? Because I only know MX-5 the car, the Mazda car. Damn fun car to have. Had one back in '96. Lots of fun. Not very powerful, but awesome fun. And Damara's right. Yeah, you're not supposed to be stoking the attitude, but thank you very much for the 500. Alright, let's go probe some voltages around here, eh? I guess I'm doing it because it's here. I'll do it until I can actually get it to boot. How's that sound? Alright, our 3v3 is completely not there. Our RTC 3v3 is here. So we don't have that. So we're not going to go very far without that. Let's check our continuity. Oh, MX-5 thermal paste. How dare they name a thermal paste after an awesome car? Okay, there we go. We've got a short on that pin, which is likely that cap. So yeah. It's one of the few caps that, if they misbehave, can make things pretty bad. Actually, what am I talking about? All caps shorting out can make things bad. No, do not do that, Paul. You... I do not have the Jessa Jones talent for that. Not at the angle that it is at the moment. Nick, I probably would do that because you know it's most likely that the person has a piece of software on there that is registered to the serial number of the board, and you know if you don't change it, then when they get it back they'll be like, my software doesn't work anymore. Yeah, that was a pretty messed up cap, that one. So yeah, you'd have to change the serial number. Alright, let's see if we get a beep now. No beep, so that's good. We'll put another cap down there, and we might actually have a functioning board. Hey Kev's crazy laugh. Yeah, well I'm trying to find the key fault, and I think I found the key fault, which was this cap here, which is it's a very essential cap, this one. And it's a 1 microfarad, 6.3 volt, 402. We'll go get a new one. There's no point in me trying to drag one off another board. They're all going to be shonky. And I've got a whole swathe of new ones anyway. At least I think I do. Let's see, what are we after? 1 microfarad, 6.3. I've got 10, 6.3. Typical of oversized ones. Let's see. I got 25 volt ones, but I'll find it. Here we go. 1 microfarad, 6.3, 402. I can use a higher voltage within reason. The main thing you lose out as you go up the voltage range with the caps is that the ESR tends to start climbing up. So what that means is that the ability in these scenarios for the voltage regulator circuit to suppress, or not suppress, but to respond to current demand tends to drop off. So you start getting more ripple. Mind you, this particular circuit, this 3v3 RTC, it's got such a small current demand that I don't think it would probably ever come up as a problem. But anyway, we have the proper one to replace it with, so we're going to use that. But I'm definitely, if this works, I'm definitely changing that crystal. And this one here too as well. They may be internally okay, but they are rusting enough that something sooner or later is probably going to get into them. Come on, come on, you're getting there, you're almost there. Ah, blimey, I'm sorry folks. No, the scope switch isn't failing. The problem is that when I switch to schematic view, it override the scope transition thing only happens on the transition, as in as I rotate the scope in or out. It's a one-shot thing, so it fires off the keyboard signal when it's retracted, and it fires off the keyboard signal when it's brought out. It doesn't repeatedly fire off that signal. Otherwise what would happen is if I switched to schematic mode, then if it was doing a repeat signal, it would just keep switching me back to microscope. The problem is me. Alright, so what we're going to be looking for is to see if these lights fire up. If they fire up, we've fixed it. Or at least we have a little more life in it. We do have MagSafe light, but we don't have system activity. There we go, fixed. So yeah, so throughout all that corrosion, that was the one, that was the fault. And like I said, it's not unusual. The RTC circuit, 3v3 RTC circuit, is essential for pretty much everything else to come up. So if you are getting MagSafe activity but you're not getting anything else coming up, RTC is the one to look for, amongst many others. But if I wash this and send it back to the customer, I know it's going to come back. You just know it's going to come back. So we'll have a look, clean up some of the worst things, make it entertaining, and definitely like I'm going to change those crystals. I'm going to change that current sense resistor on the other side. That's got more fur on it than I've got on my face. So yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, that crystal's just nasty. Look at this. This is just... yeah. Each of those caps is just a cap waiting to die. This is like I went for a swim with the Loch Ness Monster. That cap in the middle, that little ceramic one, that always seems to show up with that fuzz on it. It's just... for whatever reason, that always picks up more corrosion junk than everywhere else. Anyway, so that was just a bit of luck, really. That it was look damage enough that it caught my attention, and it was the right kind of failure that it was worth looking at. Yeah, these ones here, yuck. These sort of things we'll let the ultrasonic clean up and see how they look afterwards. But this sort of thing, yeah, maybe ultrasonic will do a decent job on it. Maybe it's not rust. Maybe that's actually cockroach poop. Nah, it's probably cockroach poop. Toothbrush. There probably is some form of corrosion, I just don't know what. Yeah, Blues, that is actually the next big test, isn't it? Having it working after you've done your repairs, and then having it working after you've ultrasonicked it, that's the real test. So many times after ultrasonicking, they're dead. Make sure I don't upset the display connector. This current sense resistor is actually probably okay, but it's better for me to replace it now. Seems like everything else is boiling up instead of the part I'm trying to remove. Being a current sense resistor, it means it's got some fairly hefty copper around it, which means it's a little bit hard to get it off. Yeah, Andrew, there's faults everywhere. Everywhere. I need a... damn it. Way to destroy a tip. Use it inappropriately. Should not be doing this to these soldering tips. I mean, they're like $100 or so. So very naughty. And yet I still do it, and I tell everyone not to do it, but I do it. Same old philosophy. Do as I say, not what I do. Well, Nick, I do agree with you, for the most part, But I guess there are some parts that you know are going to bridge over to the broken pretty quickly. And I'd rather tackle it now than later. I mean, in the end, oh wow, yeah, look at that. In the end, it's just judgment call, isn't it? You know, what I consider as a potential death about to happen, other people consider as, nah, mate, she's fine. Yeah, so, yeah, each to their own, I suppose. And I'm sure there's plenty of anecdotal evidence supporting everybody. Alright, that one doesn't look too bad. We'll use that. Whoa, that is nasty. I gotta sneeze. Yeah, see now, if I see a board come in like that, I ain't fixing that. There's just, if you got that kind of damage, then you got damage in the inside of the board, burnt layers, things like that. The only reason why you pursue something like that, maybe not necessarily for backlight or whatever, the only reason you pursue something like that is if you've got a new board where it's got, you have to get the board to boot in order to recover the data. Aside from that, that I would consider as a write-off. Ooh, we're attributing Nothing Really Matters to a Metallica. But I thought Nothing Really Matters, remember that's also, Linkin Park had that too. Barry, yes, when do you stop replacing stuff? Damn, does this have a... Oh, okay. This is just a wide resistor. Oh, I got the jackpot, did I? Was that for Linkin Park? Yeah, like that via there, if I didn't clean that up, I'd be worried that the SMC is going to lose that connection. This resistor, my god. What am I, a newbie? This capacitor I'm definitely replacing. Yeah, when it's got a good crust build up like that, I think it deserves replacing. Yeah, Travis, you're right. Not giving up tends to be a common reason for us not having enough money. But that is pretty much, we're going to get philosophical now. That is pretty much one of the things in life, isn't it? Is how to know whether to continue on or whether to stop. Are you being tested to make sure you're worthy, or are you being warned that it's a waste of time? Just thinking about that is enough to give you an aneurysm. Hey, retired tech, you got your second COVID shot and fixed your 42 inch. Ah, nice. What brand 42 inch did you have? We're going to steal this cap since it's in pretty good condition here. I've got a 55 inch LG that I have to, LG Smart TV HD, 1080, that I have to fix up the backlights in. It's the classic fault that LGs have, where one or two of the LEDs just give up after flickering for a few months. LG, ha! I gotta say, I'm very happy with my LG, the 55 inch, because I've had other big flat screens before, and there's been others with better, on paper anyway, specs. But this particular 55 inch, it really, punches above its weight, so to speak. Very happy with the quality of the image compared to a lot of the other screens that I've had a look at, including Samsung's, Samsung 7 series and stuff like that. I'm sure part of it is just in the firmware and the way they're displaying, maybe the setup, but overall the LG it was nice. I've never had any dramas with it except for now when the damned LEDs gave up. I don't think LG UM71, I don't think it is that one, but it's certainly around that area. The reason why I'm lifting this up is because there's a couple of resistors under there that have got some fuzz on them, and I want the fuzz off. Tell them to fuzz off. Oh wow, check that out. Look at that resistor on that one, how it's just failed. Fine fan, yeah, I've got a LG 55. Full HD. That's a messed up resistor, that. Yep, definitely messed up. Wi-Fi failed on it, huh? What's this? Decrease the backlight in any LG, go back to regular picture, and get back to menu again, and watch the LED burn. What? Oh, back to menu again. Watch the LEDs burn. Not sure what you mean by watch the LEDs burn. Yeah, the Reaper's making the board scared, and the board is complying. Just put a couple of spots of flux on here, that helps sometimes get the edge bonding up. Mostly because when it seeps under the edge bonding, it like, gives it a chance to lift up. Now we begin the fun process of back and forthing. Oh, right, I see what you're saying, Tomorrow's right. Gotcha. Wow, focus, come on. Travis, I ordered mine from Banggood of all places. I ordered it along with an actual LED string tester. So basically it's just a current controlled high voltage generator. Yeah. That's how you know you're using leaded solder, is when you run the solder across, particularly if you've just been reworking, it'll often sort of get the part to float, simply because it doesn't take a lot of heat to make the other side come up. On the other hand, these ones over here have been a bit reluctant. Mostly I'm just looking to see if there's something that I feel that ultrasonic can't save for me. There's something that I feel like will fail if I don't replace it. Because it's going to be more amusing if this stops working now because I've done fiddling around with the SMC. There's some truly bad parts there. Yucky. Almost lost that resistor. Almost got gobbled up in the blob of solder that's hanging off here. Oh yeah, I forgot, we've got this thing up here still. After all that. Now that's actually going to be a bit of a tricky thing to replace. Zero cool. £10 for those we lose. Oh, indeed. Indeed. So many that we lose. Now this one here is actually going to be a little bit tricky because I can't really use the hot air in this area because we've got the memory sockets here. And they really do not like hot air being applied to them. They tend to deform and, well, it's just bad news all around. So what I'm going to try and do is just flux and use the soldering iron. I may perhaps come in at 200 with the hot air, just to give it a bit of a help. Hey Nell, how's it going? Yeah, you got a, what is that, a damn green koala slash Pedro? That's crazy, man. You got koala Pedro. It's gonna suck if I have to take this chip off. Travis, well, we kind of know it already works, this one. Mind you, we've got some bloodletting here, so that's... I think I'm going to have to remove this chip. I've got bloodletting going on, and that's bad news. Okay, let's see if we can shield it. Well, fingers crossed. I'll try to go the lowest I can on this. The green cap on the CPU, I'm probably going to just let it be. We cleared off the junk. We do have a green light, meaning the CPU is functioning, so I'm disinclined to mess with it anymore. Damn it, one pin's melted, but the rest aren't. You have to go. Damn it, don't want to, but. Wow, that took some time. Well, it certainly was a mess. Look how close that was to failing. You can see where we're starting to cut into the neck of the trace, just there. That should be okay now. When the solder gets back on there, it'll clear. It'll make a better bond for it. So we fortunately didn't deform the chip, oh. That's pretty damn disgusting. I'm only putting this here so that I don't have to put up the smell of burning rubber or plastic or whatever. Not because I actually care about the connector on this one. Come on. Seriously, what do you want from me? Damn it, it got stuck on the wrong pace. That's a little weird. Maybe not enough flux there. Notice how it didn't really flow. That's better. Looks like it needs a little bit more solder on that one leg up the back. Right, good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, there's not much we can do with this. We can't really... It's very tricky to solder those. You need quite a bit of heat, and you probably just botch up everything. Ooh, you look a bit nasty. What are you, cat? I think from here we're going to go ultrasonic, but we will plug it in and see that it still works first. What's the time? Oh crikey, it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I do this for everybody. Oh, that's right, yeah, because I want subscribers and views. So I guess it's only fair then, isn't it? Solder bridge will be upset. There was no SMC reballing tonight. Not that I care about that, because I actually don't mind SMC reballing. It's kind of my thing. Oh, Nick, really? Wow, okay. I've got 2 or 3 tubes of this stuff left. And this one expires in August. At least technically. We're not going to put a huge amount of effort into connecting everything up. We'll just give it some screen, and well, that's pretty much... Let's see, how many cables did I trap? We're not going to give it battery. Sorry, Miles, can't be every night. Hey, I would have been happy to have done an SMC for the 1425, but there's no point because I don't have any working 1425 SMCs. All the ones I have the same failure on the clock line for the battery, which really sucks. So I've got 3 different donors and they've all got the same fault. Surprise, frickin' surprise. And of course, naturally, all the suppliers that I did have that had more Oh, the 1425 boards no longer have them. So it's just brilliant, just perfect. Alright, see how this goes, see if we can get ourselves a green. Let's press the option key and see if that comes up. 700 seems about right. Yep, that looks good. I would probably give this about 12 months life before it starts having other issues. I just can't get over the fact that they're still using spinning rust in this thing. It's almost like it's worth your time to migrate them to a solid state drive just simply so that they don't so you save them the drama of them having a crashing hard drive and coming back to you. Okay, that good. It's doing alright considering I don't have a fan plugged in, so amongst a few other things. So the SMC is probably trying to decide whether it wants to put me into fail-safe mode or not. Miles. I'm trying not to be too pessimistic. Okay, there's no Wi-Fi, that's to be expected because I've disconnected it. Let's see what this machine actually is. And yeah, 2.5, i5. Alright, all good. The trackpad button's a little bit sluggish to respond. As in you need to use a bit more force than normal to activate it. Which is normal with these, the little dome and landing pad set up on the back of the trackpad. It usually gets a little bit of corrosion in it. It makes it a bit sluggish for that. What are you doing? Shut down. I said shut down. What's that probably going to die in shipping? Yeah, probably, Jim. Alright, that's it. 1 o'clock in the morning. Time for me to go to sleep. Thank you very much for sticking around. That's the end of tonight. At least we had one board that we really did actually have to do the repairs. I'm fairly sure with that one that's got the dead backlight circuit, I'm fairly sure the mux on that will probably be dead as well. But I'd have to get my hands on another board and put the mux that we took off that one onto it and see what happens. But I don't know if I'd want to do that. Those boards, you're lucky enough to get away with replacing that mux between the CPU and the PCH or the GPU once. Try not to push your luck too much. Alright, so in that case, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all whenever I'm here next, whenever that will be. And if anyone does hear from Jim, let me know. I mean, he has got my SMS, so he'll probably let me know that he's all up and about. But hopefully nothing too bad's happening. Okay, catch us later. See ya.